Alright, so this servo's not going to work. Traxxas servo's not going to work. So what I'm going to do now, since this is working, I did take this apart, take out the screws on the back, and I checked the gear. I was going to take this and install it into this, which is no problem, but the housing is different. This is a true 1/5 scale and this is not. So I would have to change the whole housing in order to put a 1/5 scale servo in this holder. So Arrma, I know Arrma sells a different holder to run a true 5th scale. I did some research and found that out. So since I can't put my own 5th scale servo in here, I'm now gonna reinstall this. I'm then going to switch the ESCs from the new one to the old one to find out if they're just supplying more voltage to the servo or if they've actually reprogrammed this to something different. So it is made in China. So I don't know. It looks identical, the part number's identical, so it's either a programming issue, because it does work. It's not that it doesn't work, and it has the torque. It's just you can hear the voltage sounds different from this one to the other one. This one sounds like my batteries are dead and it's barely turning this. So I'm going to swap ESCs. That's going to be my next thing to determine if they change the output to this servo. And if they did, then maybe I could just program my new ESC. Either way, either Horizon's going to give me a steering servo or they're going to give me an ESC. But it has to be made right. You can't. People are telling me that they're calling it a extreme basher package to put the braces on there, and it's $25, but you don't get the remote. And most people don't care because they don't have two RCs of the same model, so they can just put it on their DX5 or their Futaba or whatever. Me, I kind of like to keep the factory remote because that way I can play with both of them. So I can stick one on my DX5 and I can stick one on my Rugged. But why should I? I paid the same amount for the RCs. I mean, I did pay $40 more for the new one, but the price hasn't changed. They're still $8.99. The only reason I paid more is the person I bought it from, little shady. So he overcharged me a lot. But they're still $8.99. They're $900. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this. The video was getting long yesterday, so it's going to take me a little bit to reinstall this into this box and get it back into the RC. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully everything goes well, and then we'll swap ESCs and see if it's a programming issue. Alright, so that's the plan. Let's stick with that. Let's go with that plan. And here's my biggest thing, is that most people won't know. Nobody, who in their right mind is going to go spend $2 grand on the same RC to see if Arrma's made changes? I mean, they're telling you that the only thing they changed was the upper brace and the rear brace and a remote. But as you see, that's not the case. I'm finding that there is more to the story. And I always love a good story. Remember when Traxxas 6S systems were catching fire, and then they came out with the 8S, and then they told all the people that had the old 6S, oh, you don't have to go buy another RC. all you have to do is buy the 8S upgrade. And here's our 8S package upgrade. And guess what? It didn't come with diffs. GeoStealth R1, he went out and bought the upgrade. And then found out later that the diffs were different. And that's not fair. That's not fair to anybody. But by the time they found all this out, guess what? It was too late. But I could be wrong. You know, that's why I'm doing all this, because maybe the servo is just weak. Maybe it fails after 6 or 7 runs. I don't know. Funny. Now I know why the steering is off. Because you can't center this. It's actually all the way to keeps changing. Look at that. That's what's going on. ABC. Like, why does it keep moving? And look at that. The Allen goes all the way through. Now this should be counterclockwise to put this cap screw back in. So remember that that's reverse. And this is just to ensure that that other screw doesn't come out. So then this bearing goes in here like this. Now we know it's centered. So I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to get the workbench cleaned up, and I'm going to get this new electronic box put back into the old RC, and then we're going to go ahead and switch out the ESCs. Alright, I'll be right back. Big RC cars. Alright, everything's hooked back up. Now I'm going to get to swapping over the ESCs. And then another thing we can do is we can actually plug in. I think I have a handheld adapter we can plug into the fan area, and then we can see what settings are in this one versus what settings are in the other one. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back again. I'm going to leave this unplugged so we can go ahead and pop this one out. How I know my old ESC versus the new one, this one's got orange shrink tubing right here where the other one does not. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and pop this whole lid off. I'm going to transfer the whole lid to the other one. And this one's got a rubber antenna, where my new one didn't come with it, which is disappointing. So if we take this and just unplug it from channel 2, making sure to keep this wire in there, it does continue to fall out. So now I'm going to move you guys over so we can do this one. As you see, this one doesn't have any orange shrink tubing right here. It doesn't have a rubber antenna thing. So where this one has orange shrink tubing and black shrink tubing here on the new one, there's nothing on the ESC. So the old one is like this. So the first thing to do is unplug this, get this stuff out of the way. I do like this design, how everything is just in one section. This is going to tell me if the program's different, if the ESC is putting out more voltage to the servo, because that's what I really want to know. So there we go. Here's the new ESC. Here's my old ESC. So let's plug this thing in. Channel 2. And I'm not going to bolt it in. A, B, somebody outside blasting some country music. And let's turn this around. And we'll do the other one. The one with the wire always goes in the middle, the fan wiring on it. There we go. I'm going to just set the batteries in here rather than strap them all down. Turn you guys around. Plug these in. A little bit of space so I can get the camera in the front. Right. Let's move you guys to the front. Okay, so this is the original one. I'll turn on my remote. So here's the old remote. Turning on the other one now. that seemed a little better. Here's the new one. Nope, 100%. It is in the servo. There is no doubt. The sound difference, it's not in the ESC. It's not putting out more voltage. It's just lazy. So much better. So it's 100% in the steering servo. So now we know, guys. Appreciate you guys watching me do this test between both Kratons to find out what's going on with these steering servos. Have the same part number. Something has changed on the programming on the inside. So I have popped the lids to them, or to the old one, and the gearing is the same as the other low-C steering servo that I have, the other Spectrum, I should say, that I had taken out of my low-C. Other than the output shaft going to the steering servo, the guts are the same. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on my next video.